So everybody's doing pretty well except that one person, first casualty. So let's proceed on. New Africas have changed from pleased to content because we're based off of the United States. And we have a third contact. And it is this aircraft is moving very quickly. And knowing what this aircraft is, I am not going to engage it. And to anyone else, you see this aircraft, do not engage it until you get to a later point in the game where you have significantly more aircrafts or better aircrafts to engage them. And I'm not going to show you why, because I know that I will die if I try to engage it, and I'll lose all the goodies. So I'll just let this one slide on by. And it looks like it's heading straight for our base, which is not good. Anyways, and it has landed on what appears to be in the lake. Okay, so this is our first harvesting mission. Send our Pavlo over there, and that's what those crafts do. They can land and perform alien missions, as harvesting operations or even terror operations. But fortunately, we spotted this one in landing, because it landed within our radar detection facility. There could still be alien presence elsewhere, but we just can't see it, and it hasn't been notified to us. And that's one of the reasons why these countries are changing from being pleased to content, because they're receiving reports that aliens are attacking them, but they haven't sent those reports to us for us to determine where they're being attacked from. Not that they probably don't even know. It's whatever. So it seems like they landed in the hills area, in the lake. So and I'm just joking around when I said they landed on the lake. They can only land on land. So we have this set up, suburbs. Here it is. Our target. So we want to deploy everybody as fast as possible. It seems like that everybody is within this aircraft. I will be spraying them out. You don't know where the alien might be. They can be in these buildings. They can be already set up around you. They can be prepared to ambush you or throw a grenade or do a kamikaze charge. So I'm taking a bit of a risk by moving everybody without having any reactionary shots. Let's move some people up. And I'm also bunching them up, which is also another no-no, because a single grenade or explosive weapon can take them all out or injure all of them. But I know something about this map. If I'm right, I should not get any contacts for a little while. Alright, so we have yet to see any aliens, so let's proceed. Generally speaking, the aliens will either go after you or the civilians. So if you see civilians, then expect aliens to be behind them. Either they'll come out of buildings to attack you. So a person with the assault rifle will be going inside this building. Also, check your corners. I failed to check this corner. There could be an alien right there, sitting there, waiting for you to ambush you. But generally speaking, they will rush out after you at first. They'll only start doing that when they take cover after shooting you, and then by then you know that there's an alien over there. So We have no contact so far. Moving people up. Skip the turn. And this is the control that I accidentally pushed tilde for. You can see more detailed console information there. I'm not going to be getting into that. Let's see. The entrance is up here, so I will be assaulting that position. Let's move these guys up. Good cut. Okay, generally speaking, I do believe this building is clear, since these guys have yet to be engaged on the enemy turn. I'm guessing that the enemy, or assuming that the enemy is in their craft still, just like how we started in ours. Here's the interesting thing, is anytime you get to a door that's open and closable, it'll show this and it'll pause. And this is when you get to make the decision, do you want to go through a door? Doors provide great ambush points for both your enemies and yourself. And generally speaking, you do not want to go through doors. Unless you want to throw a flashbang or some sort of dynamic, you want to perform some sort of dynamic entry from multiple different angles. But since I know that this place is clear, or I am believing it is, we move on. And as you can see, she's pausing because of these doors. You can also hear and see doors open and close even though you don't have sight of them. And whenever you see a door that's been closed before when you're examining the initial part in the beginning of the map and all of a sudden it's open, two possibilities. A civilian has opened it or an alien has opened it. So be aware of that. Just pay attention. So everybody's gone. Let's proceed on. Okay, still no contacts. This is when things are getting a bit scared because the aliens might be preparing to just sit in their spacecraft, waiting for us to mosey on in, where they have the advantage of knowing what's inside. But we are not that foolish today. Okay, the strategy that I'm going to be performing here is called well, I call it peeking inside without exactly going inside. These are what our infrared goggles are for. They're to see the enemies and any contacts through walls. Incredibly useful, especially on those doors and whatnot, or before you're entering the building. You activate this, and voila! You see that aliens are right here. It looks like, I don't know if those are like, they're just staring at a wall or whatnot. I'm guessing that they are staring at a wall. It's not like some sort of Borg regeneration chamber or something like that. So, whatever. We now know that they're there. And at most they can probably move out here and perform one action against our troops. I am going to move our units to our left and have these units stay to our right. Crouch. One up, left. Make sure everyone is gone. Ah, this person. Good, good. This is why I check. And let's go. So we do have contacts, actual visual contacts. 3 of them. 2 of them. But we know that there's a third somewhere around there. If it has come out yet. Let's get some suppressive fire on that position. 5%, not very much, but better than nothing. So we have 1 hit on that. And this is why I'm gonna express how much I love grenade launchers. That is if I can get a shot. You have multiple options: airburst, timed, 3 rounds, aimed, or snapshot. Generally, I will be using the 3-round burst just for raw firepower, but they're not very accurate. It's like taking 3 snapshots in quick succession. The aim shot will more than likely land your round on your target, and most often you will be using airburst. There are a few times where you can be using timed ones. That is when the enemy is far away from your maximum range, and you want the rounds to bounce off the ground and to hopefully go towards the enemy. And that requires a bit of understanding of what kind of terrain that you're on, whether or not the grenade will bounce on, concrete or grass or dirt, and not so much on sand, and even dirt in itself makes very bad surfaces to bounce grenades off of. But I have full confidence right now, and I'll be shooting this slightly ahead. Be careful of obstacles. You don't want your trajectory to get too close to an obstacle, because it has some variations on where it will land. So I will be doing it right here. And look at that. That's for killing our flamethrowers. Bastards. Let's get a peek inside again. Okay, that alien hasn't left, but that alien will, more than likely. Let's get people in position. You can tell we're forming up on like a... I was gonna say line, but I still think it is a line, so... This person can have a reactionary shot instead. Aim that way. Okay, let's go. Okay, that alien is not coming out, I don't think. Still staying there. By all means, in this scenario, take your time. Get everybody into position. Make sure that they have enough time units to get off a reactionary shot. This is when people die. This is when you're not being careful. And you're very close to where the enemy can immediately pop out and perhaps even get the shot off of you, and then go back into cover. I did something where it was pretty bad. If you go to an area where it doesn't have enough time units to go to, but you select it anyways, they will try to make a move to that area, but you have no idea where they stop along that line because they don't have enough time units to get there. So this was a mistake that I made. So always make sure you know where your units are going to be stopping at. So because I made that mistake, I'm going to have to move this individual up further to hopefully return fire against any contacts that might come out and be like, oh, there's a person exposing their back to me. Might have moved that sniper a little too far. And we have contacts, and the individual has just taken a shot at us. Just took a shot at us. Bastard. See if we have a shot back. All likelihood we do. Yes, we do. We're gonna take a knee. Turn fire. Good hit. And once again, I'll be relying on our grenade launcher. This time we will be doing an aim shot airburst inside. It's gonna have a high probability of landing on that area. And there you have it. Beautiful. And we won! There was only 3 aliens in that aircraft. That's very strange. Normally there's like 8. And they all bum rush you when they come out of the aircraft. Anyways, we have an aircraft. Our UFO yard is not up yet. And we will be selling it to this person, or this bidder, New Africa. And the United States really want their aircraft, but, or UFO, but we're not gonna sell it to them. They're happy enough as is. See? And they're changed from content to leads. Let's return back to base. And it's getting closer to the end of this month, and you'll see what will happen. Ah, we have another contact. Let's send our Apache out to greet this contact. Anytime a UFO lands in water, gets shot down in water, it won't land in water. You lose the UFO, which means you cannot have a mission to retrieve it. This is both good or bad depending if you want to actually take the time retrieving that UFO. And once again, our Apache did a great job sitting out our payload, but first, check up on our units, see how they're doing. It seems like they're getting more proficient, slowly, ever so slowly, that is if they don't die. Launch our payload. So, enter this mission. Loading map, scout crash. So this must be a scout that we shot down. Another interesting information is when it loads, it'll show up what it's loading. And once you get pretty good in this game, or you start playing this game more and more, you and unlock the researches and know what the aliens are called and so on, you'll realize what you're facing up against just by looking at the loading screen, or what species of aliens. So we have initial contact. This alien carrying this plasma weapon and a blade. So do not want to get in melee with them. First order of business. Set up positions. Also, I see that we have this. Oh, more contacts. More of these. Armed similarly. Generally speaking, once you get the idea of how each map is played, since I played this game for like a week now, they usually do not spawn up here in this building. Civilians are in this building. But I could be wrong one day, and that could serve to screw me over, but from my experience, that's what I know. So, if you want to play this, just, you know, be aware that typically nothing goes starts up there. It makes a great point to move snipers or anybody that's good with distant weapons up there to shoot down on this position. But an added complication is by the time you get set up in that building, the enemy would have already started going inside that building, and you will have your distance shooters inside. That leads to something that you do not want to happen. So I am moving my units up, getting them into position, into good cover. Let's see, we spot 2 civilians. I like to position my snipers here, behind these trees. That one's moved. The only reason why that one's moving up as far as that one did is because of the initial position. Allows it so that get up here and take pot shots at the aliens at closer ranges. Consequently, if the aliens want to shoot back, these steps will provide cover for it. I'm going to take a snapshot. Not likely to hit, but as you can see, if it misses that one, it might hit the one behind it. And 12% was successful. Let's see, I do not want shot reservations. Push X. Move that person there. I generally move my explosive units along with a sniper or assault soldier into this building. That way they can get their shot off and move back inside the building as quickly as possible. So let's see. This person will be looking that way. Everything is looking good. I'm gonna have this person to crouch. And see what the enemy does. Getting behind cover, smart. Moving up to open ground, not so smart. Taking cover behind that tree, no. Going for the melee, maybe. And this is an interesting situation. Because one, this person is in danger of getting into melee with that person. And since I do not want to get in melee, I am going to full auto this person, this alien. And that is successful. And move back. This one is gonna crab walk up. And this is where decision making time. If you make an aim shot, you cannot, you're not gonna be able to follow up with a sap shot. So an aim shot is at 88% with 18 time units spent. But a snapshot is only 12% with a 64%, but you can get 2 of these off. Decision is yours. I prefer quantity over quality in this case. So that missed, and that missed. So I was wrong. Move that back. Now have this individual. Let's see if she's shot off around that corner, and no, she does not, or he does not. Move up. Yet again, I can take 2 snapshots, but it's at 27%, so that's not a good rating. And also, if I take 2 snapshots, this individual will not have enough time units to get back into cover. So, I'm going to crouch by pressing C. Aim shot. See this glorious shot. There we go. And 3 is enough to crawl back into cover. Move my heavy weapons out. Anytime anybody gets a direct hit with a rocket is glorious. So I may later on have another individual with a rocket launcher. Because it's so much fun watching them just get dominated by a rocket. Like that! Get dominated! Crab walk back into cover. Back into cover. Eat it. Okay, this individual does not have a shot off. So, let's take advantage of the time units that this individual have. Move up. There's less line of sight here, as you can tell. Right at me. But let's see if you can get a shot off on this individual. I doubt it. That's pretty good cover, yeah. Crouch, look that way, reactionary shot. Cycle through. This person. Move up here. Reactionary shot. Not enough to use for activating reactionary fire, okay. Okay, I take risks. I take risks with my grenadiers, and this is what I'm gonna be. This is gonna be one of them. He's gonna have no time units. He's gonna be in position. There's significant cover. The alien's gonna have to go pretty far out, and if the alien does, I'm gonna be able to just wail on him on my turn next time. You might get 1 shot off, but I doubt that's enough to get in melee range. Check everybody again. Everybody's good. Apparently, what's his name is consumed by mad rage. and I've lost eye contact with him. This is because everybody's looking in the opposite direction. Let's turn around and see how close is, and wow, that is very close. But even if that one got into melee combat, I doubt the alien would have had enough time units to make use of that. So let's just get 2 successful shots, and voila. And that is that. Another successful mission, saving everybody, get some alien tech, and sell off for parts. So it seems like Russia is content and willing to spend on this, so let's do that. Back to base, and it is going to be at the end of the month now, of March, and you'll see what happens. It pauses, it's 1st of April, and if you go up here, we receive money, and we also have to pay money to our workers and for upkeep. And if you go into statistics, you can see how much of the cost that we have compared to our gains. And obviously, the more pleased or happy these nations, factions are, the more money that they're willing to spend. And this is not a graph that approaches the current towards the right. The current right now, it's 0. That's our current time. And these are months that are behind us relative to what is right now. So these lines will be approaching backwards. And what you want to see is what the lines are doing closest to the present. So it's on a straight line. People are relatively stable at the moment. Statistics. We're not in debt. I haven't been in debt before. I hope to never be in debt, because I don't know how debt does in this game. So now we have more money, and on top of that, we have more employees, more candidates for our organization. And since we have lost somebody, we can certainly use another candidate. So as you're proceeding to look through, you want to see somebody with a good strength and good accuracy and a decent speed. That's my guess. That's my prediction. So this person is actually pretty good and is versed in high explosives. So we might see a second individual for rocket launcher. But right off the back, I'm gonna hire this person. That's pretty good average statistics right there. Normally you'll have a bunch of individuals with like mediocre statistics, like close combat is right now, and just generally avoid those. And we have another individual that's competent in heavy weapons. Wow, we have such good candidates this time. Normally I get crappy candidates. We may as well hire this individual as well, and I'll get into the reason why we may want more than 8 individuals. Crappy speed, but decent everywhere else. Crappy strength, just probably gonna avoid him. Crappy strength once again. Sniper rifles and high explosives. Wow, these people are pretty well versed in weaponry. Decent in strength. And not so great in speed, but decent in accuracy too. Might influences morale and so on. And I think uses with the medkits, I'm not certain of that. But we are gonna hire these individuals. And additional pilots. And additional workers. We can have up to 10 in our workshop, so let's get 10. And a couple more eggheads. I mean scientists.